So this is my front yard. There's so many random things planted here. We also have our chickens in this part of the garden. And I've learned that you've got to plant plenty of things so there's enough to share between us and the chickens. I plant closely together so that the chickens avoid that particular area. And I feel like we've achieved a really good balance so that it's my garden, but it's also a space that the chickens can enjoy as well. My name is Sigrid. This is my sign name. My sign name is a little bit random. It was given to me by my brother, who gave me like a nickname, Doo-doo, Doo-doo. And so that kind of stuck. That's the sign for Doo-doo. Yeah, I get so easily lost in the details in this garden. I'm also a very sensory type of person, so I love to feel things. I like to look at things closely and just imagine. When I was younger, I always imagined myself as incredibly small and what the world would look like from that perspective. So moss has always given me kind of like an escape. I can shrink myself and shrink my thoughts even. When I look in the garden, I love seeing that the moss is there and being able to just run my hands over it is so lovely. And I feel so happy from it. And it also shows just how healthy the system is here. So I use Auslan, Australian Sign Language. AUSLAN is spelled, the abbreviation of Australian Sign Language. I was born deaf. My family did notice that I wasn't responsive to sound, and my father was working out in the backyard. He's a builder. He was using power tools, and I was asleep, peacefully asleep. And at the same time, my grandfather said, I don't think Sigrid's hearing this. So I was tested and diagnosed at 9 months of age. My family, my parents, my grandparents, on both sides of the family, so all 4 grandparents and my parents, would then go to TAFE and they learned Auslan. They actually learned signed English, at that time, and they straight away fed that back to me and I was able to communicate with them. But they also introduced me to the deaf community, which meant that I was able to pick up Auslan as well. So I had access to language straight away. Most deaf people are born to a hearing family and they do face barriers. Access to language. Language deprivation is a huge issue. I felt so lucky to have been born in this area because I had access to the deaf community, which is actually incredibly rare outside of capital cities. Yeah, I've been gardening since I was young. Because it's something that my family has done on both sides of my family for some time, we've always had gardens, different styles of gardens, but I've learnt a lot from both sides of my family. My mother's father, my grandfather, he's always been a gardener. Most of the plants that I have here are from my grandfather or from friends and family. And when I walk around, I feel like just such a strong connection with different people. If I spot a plant, I think of the person that gifted me that plant. It feels like I'm in good company with my garden. I'm never lonely. I feel like everything I give to the garden gives back to me. If the plant community only has one type of plant, it's not a strong community. there isn't the ability for it to be resilient. It's more vulnerable and can break down quickly. But if you have a diverse community within the plant realm, different animals, different types of plants, different types of bacteria and all of those types of things, that ends up being a stronger community which will actually survive through time. And how everything is interconnected. It doesn't matter how small it is. If you can't see it, or if it's huge, everything is connected. Diversity is important. I feel like the deaf community is so similar to the mushroom and fungi family. I'm so connected to that. I love seeing the deaf community like the mycelium network. There's connections, though they're distant, they're strong. It's healthy. And when the conditions are perfect, the support is there, the access is there for the deaf community, then everyone pops up and you're able to see them. The community becomes more visible and aware of all of those things.